All right. Good morning, and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I am your host, A.D. Walker, the pusher, the grower, the motivator, and I appreciate you guys for rocking and being with us this morning. Uh, Another day of the Brothers is on. Make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Let everybody know that the brothers are in the building. So I appreciate you for being here. Uh, let's see. And happy Monday. Happy first of the month. It's November 1st. It's the first of the month. Get up, get up, get up. Blessings, Lisa. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for sharing. So it's the first of the month. It's November. Oh my gosh. 2 months. We going into 2020. Duh. 2020. Duh. Whew, time is flying. Time flies when you're having fun, um, and it's interesting. I don't know about y'all, but this year has been going by really, 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 really fast, and it's yeah, right. Don't you? I was thinking that song at first. Oh man, it's the first of the month. Lisa said, I always think about that song too. First of the month. It's the first of the month. Shout out to Bone Thugs and Harmony. All right. So today I want to have this have a real deep I always say that, right? Real deep conversation. All right, let's get it. So make sure you share. Sharing is caring. I see some folks coming in the building. So make sure you share. Tag somebody that should be a part of this conversation. And if you're wondering what we're talking about today, first, check out the podcast. Second, how do we change the hood mentality? And there's more to it, but that's the basis of where we're starting. This might be an all week conversation because I want to get some other folk involved in this convo. How do we change the hood mentality? Let's see. So that's what we're talking about this morning. Make sure you are connecting with other people. Let everybody know that the brothers are in the building. It's been an interesting week. Good morning, Cheryl, sports car lady in the building. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for always being a part, as well as Lisa, my regulars. So I don't know. I've probably mentioned it, and I'm gonna mention it again because it's just gonna happen. We're gonna be moving into uh, the YouTube space only because I want everybody there because that's where we can definitely build financially in the YouTube space. I will be sharing clips and things of that nature in Facebook, but to see us live or to get the full video will be in YouTube because it's the better space. That, and if you're rocking on my podcast, I appreciate you as well. That is supporting us financially as well, just by listening, because we do have a sponsor on the podcast. Just can't get them over to the YouTube-ish. It's going to take a little more work. So I appreciate you for doing that as well. So today we're talking about how do we change the hood mentality. If you've ever had it in your childhood or adulthood, because things change, things happen. So we're going to talk about that. Kind of a different perspective if you're having one set thoughts on where we're going to go, but it's a little different perspective. So I want you guys to make sure you're sharing, connecting with other people. Let everybody know that the brothers are on. I don't know. It may just be me. I think my man Cole may be coming in the building, but we're going to see. It's Monday. Oh, look at that. I wasn't sure you'll be in the building with me today. All right. So, like I said, make sure you are sharing. As I speak and talk, I am sharing onto the Facebook. Now the Meta company. May dig into that one day. the name changes. But yeah, let's get it. Let's go. Keita, good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I appreciate you, Keita, in the building. She's becoming consistently on, and I thank her for being here. All right. So let's see. Spliggity splow. And let's go ahead and get busy. Let's start the show. All right. Let's see. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, Kathy in the building. Oh, Sam in the building. Y'all remember Romper Room? Nah, I probably don't want to do when she whipped the mirror out. I see Jackie. I see Lisa. I see Cheryl. I know I ain't the only one that remember that show. She'd say that at the end. She just started mentioning names. And you'd be like, oh, she gonna call my name. But depending on how unique your name is, I've never heard her say, I see LaQuisha. I see, like, I've never seen her go too far off. She always stayed in a certain space. I know you remember Romper Room. Don't act like that. Don't leave me out here hanging. All right, we're gonna kick this thing off. Got past the hanging in the wings. We're gonna go ahead and get this broadcast started. And it is Monday, the first of the month. Let's do it again. It's the first of the month. Get up, get up, get up. All right, let's go. Let's get it. Let's see. Right. See, I knew it. Lisa saw it too. She said yes. And you thought she actually saw you. She whipped that mirror out. She see me. I see Anthony. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Don't make fun of my childhood. I don't care. I don't care. Let's go. Let's go. Bam. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. Whew. Good morning, Pastor. Happy Monday.
Good morning. How you doing, sir?
I am well. I am well. I am well. You've seen the Romper Room? No, tell me you've seen the Romper Room. Okay. Yeah. I was about to say that show was like it wasn't 90-ish. I think it was like late 80-ish. Like I know it wasn't new.
Oh, Romper Room?
Romper Room. Yeah.
No, it was earlier than that.
Right. About to say, because I'm thinking about
Romper, Domper, Stomper, Do. Tell me who. Magic Mirror, tell me the day that all my friends have fun at play.
I didn't even remember the rhyme. I just remember the mirror part, and she started calling out names. Oh man! Good morning, Mama Corey. Good morning. Good morning. Whew. Take it back in the day. Remember Captain Kangaroo? That was my Saturday morning cartoon when I used to watch that. All right. So today we're talking about how do we change the hood mentality. Of course, like most things, I have a story. So I drive Lyft and I picked up a passenger, and in a I'll just say like a hoodish area, you can kind of see that it's like some of the apartments, some of the area. So I pick him up and he's like, "Yo, can I stop at the store real quick?" And he stops at the store and he gets in the car. He's like, "Man," he said, "some place that cashes out EBT." And if you don't know what EBT is, it's like the food stamps. If you remember those from back in the day, now they're on a card. But he's like, cash out EBT. Like literally, they go in the store and they can cash out EBT. And what they do, allegedly, they go in and they cash like they pay like $100 and they get $50 back. So it's kind of like the store makes money, and of course, he was telling me he broke down the whole thing. He said, it's a dangerous thing for the stores to do because if they get caught, it's like $150,000 fine, and if they don't pay, they lose their EBT machine. They lose the ability to charge EBT. Just a little legal history and understanding that's going on. And it began to make me think, like, I get it. Like, sometimes the struggle gets real. It's like, I got the food. I get a lot on the stamps. I need cash. And I need cash to give out. What's up, Sam? Aunt Sam. Good morning. Good morning. So I wanted to kind of conversate, just kind of like, not just the mentality, like, if you've ever been in a spot where you got to think of, I got to do something to get by, right? I got to do what I got to do to survive. If you ever been placed in that situation, you know, outside of knocking somebody in the head or robbing somebody, you try to figure out, how can I manipulate a system to at least get me by, in this moment. And if you've never done it, yeah, I mean, and don't admit it, you ain't gotta admit it. Unless you want to, like, see, it's just us. If you want to admit it, you can. But those moments that you're like, oh man, if I just do this and this will give me an extra $5. Like, if I just do this and this, I get extra 10. And the mindset, and don't act like you've never had, like, it's one thing me doing something and getting money from pastor, like hustling pastor. But it's another thing to hustle. Let's just say the job you work at, they're a big corporation. What's $20 to them? Like, what's $100 to them? I do, they can just write it off, like, so can we keep it real? Like, if you've ever been in a tight situation or a struggle, oh, it's a big corporation. Or if you ever worked at a job and it gets tight, it's like, if I could just pocket this, I could do this and take care of this, So so the mentality is not just the people that live in the rough areas, but just life in general. Like, getting over the mentality of just looking at things. How do we get over it, right? And my prayer for most of you guys have kind of at least moved past that, because a lot of times you think about it when you're younger, teenage years, up into like young adult, and then, like I said, if you get into a situation, get sticky, these are things you think about. Or even into adulthood, you get into a system and you're like, if I just do this and this, who's it gonna harm? Who's it gonna hurt? Pastor, look like
I don't think that's hood mentality.
You don't think it's hood mentality? Okay.
I mean, when you talk about,
let's dig into it.
When I was in the military,
right,
they had this cleaner called Simple Green. You can use Simple Green to clean anything.
Okay.
It was a multi-purpose cleaner. It was
right.
a big old jug. It's a green cleaner.
Right.
And you used it.
Right.
And people that were married, everybody had Simple Green at their house.
Right.
And nobody bought it.
Ooh. Okay.
Because it was military issued.
Right. All right. Okay. I got you. Got you. Yeah.
I good luck finding someone who does not have some Simple Green in their barracks, in their room, or at their home.
Right.
And so it's one of those situations where, is it wrong if everybody's doing it?
Right.
Right. I mean, is that hood?
Right.
I remember trying to get a job after the military, wanted a part-time job, and I went to work. I interviewed for this company, and one of the questions, like if you work in retail, they ask you questions like that. Right. Like, have you ever taken supplies without permission?
Right.
And I was like, and I thought about when I was in the military. And I was like, wow, Simple Green. Everybody took Simple Green. And answering that question, yes, made me a thief.
Right. Because you're being honest, though.
Right.
You want me to tell the truth?
It made me a thief. It made them question my character.
Right.
And I was like, Simple Green? I'm like,
right.
I'm like, it's cheaper than bleach. Right. But because I took it, and because I answered, I took it without permission.
Wow. It made you a thief.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but to me, I'm trying to figure out, like, first, you said let's define hood.
Right.
Because when we think of hood, we think of where we live, Black folks.
Right.
But the reality is, a lot of the stuff we do in the hood is being done in other neighborhoods also.
Right. Indeed.
Right. So hood is just, it's difficult to say hood when we associate it with Black people.
True. So how would you? Because I mean, like the hood mentality, or white folks live in the hood too, and some white folks live side by side. I've seen because I've been driving. I've
Right.
been
I know, but what I'm saying is
the connotation.
when we say hood, we're talking about black people.
Right.
And so what I'm saying is if that's the question, then we have to talk about things that are only found in the black community. Right?
Right.
Like selling individual cigarettes.
I mean, okay, so I mean, I get I get the Lucy's. Got to get the Lucy's. Okay, so
Lucy.
Yeah.
Or asking, you about 75 cents short.
Right.
On a 40 ounce.
Right.
Can I get that? We the only ones that ask for 75 cents is standing outside the corner store. Hey, you got 75 cents?
Listen, we probably the only ones because we are black.
No, other people will ask for loose change. Right? We will ask specifically for what we're missing.
This is exactly what y'all need $1.50. You got $1.50 on you, right?
You got $1.25. I'm trying to get this 40. Right. Like, man, you're a grown man, dog. Do not ask anybody for $1.25. If it's $1.25, you don't need it.
Right. But okay, let me read Aunt Sam. She got a big comment here. She said, I think we can only change the hood mentality when the mind of those who are in the hood have a change of heart in knowing that there is a way out and you can do better. Indeed, America's filled with everything you need. You have to use what you got to get where you're going. It takes others to be leaders and to push this issue. And I do believe when others are on top of caring about the hood, things will change. On the other hand, it is truly the mentality of hood person's mind. Some will never change.
Okay. So that brings up another question.
Yes, indeed.
If I'm born in the hood,
good morning,
raised
Mr. Johnson.
in the hood, I lived my entire life in the hood, and then I raised a child in the hood.
Right.
Am I considered a victim?
I knew you were gonna ask that question.
You knew that was coming. Because whenever you've heard this question.
Are you a victim? Was it a product of your environment or product of your circumstances?
Right.
Because I've heard people say
if one person can make it out,
right,
everybody can make it out. That's the mindset, right?
That's the mindset. That is. Okay.
Mother Fulton.
Mother Fulton said no.
You are not a victim. I will not concur or refute
right,
or disagree. I will, and at this moment.
I got you.
For the purpose of getting deeper into this conversation, because it's absolutely the question that you posed.
Right.
How do we get rid of the hood mentality? First of all, are you a victim if you're in the hood?
Right.
Aunt Sam says you have to change your mindset. Okay, how do we change the mindset? Those are different questions.
Yeah. How do you change them? Because I, like I said, I was with the guy, and he had a baby, his baby with him, and stuff like that. So, I could imagine whatever the challenges he's faced. He actually has 2 kids, and he looked under 30. I'll say that he looked under 30. I don't know exactly between 20 and 30, but he looked under 30. He has 2 kids, and so there's the survival effort, and then there's the what other extra stuff he might have going on, but yeah. So I think about the mentality of that sometimes trying to get over, trying to get over, but I got to do what I got to do based on my current situation. And yes, before we even get into that part, yes, we make decisions to get us into certain spaces that we're in. Though I can live in the hood, I still make decisions that produce 2 children. I still make decisions that put me in a particular space. So of course we come back to that question: are you a victim of your environment? And I don't want to dig too much into it. All right. What up, Cole? Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Indeed, we're doing well. We're doing well.
Happy Monday to you, Pastor.
So of course, as you can
All
see,
right,
we're
Eddie.
talking about changing the hood mentality. I
Yeah.
remember you telling a story of your dad kind of taking you or
Hmm.
moving you into a hood like situation because you was kind of like middle classes, and he kind of wanted you to learn a different way of life or how other people live or live that kind of life, just so you know what's going on. I guess to broaden your perspective.
Well, I didn't even have the choice. I mean, from my mama's womb, I lived
Right.
in the hood.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, my mother agreed. Well, my mother pushed my father to have me be born in New Orleans, so I was born there, and then we moved to Houston. Well, they already were in Houston. We
Okay.
stayed there. We stayed in New Orleans for a couple months, and then from my parents' recollection, we drove back to Houston, and where they were was in the Fifth Ward. So,
Ah.
for the first 9 years of my life, all I knew was the hood.
Okay.
Yeah, that was all I knew.
Gotcha.
Um, uh, it was. I mean, it was no escaping it.
Okay.
No escaping it. But
Gotcha.
but as as time grown went on, I learned lessons as to appreciating those who may not have had a lifestyle the way we all live now. It made me appreciate different people in different socioeconomic standpoints.
Okay.
Of course, I didn't know all of that as eloquently then as I do now,
Yeah.
but
Right. Right. Right.
that's what took place. I didn't look at I didn't look at. I always tell the story. I was 6, my father says, and we were at Sears, and it was in the Fifth Ward,
Okay.
and there was a homeless person,
Okay.
and so I guess I was thankfully not in earshot of the poor man, and I tugged at my
What's up,
father.
Mark?
I said,
Good morning.
Dad, man, I think I've seen my first bum.
Oh.
Little did I know that I saw many who were
Right.
homeless but were black,
Right.
but I didn't associate them with that. I didn't
Um,
associate them with being homeless or being a bum. The person had to be white for me to associate that. So,
Interesting.
mhm. So my father said then, he said, I think my boy's got it. I think my boy's not going to ever truly trash black people or look at them, even though that's his own, would look at
Right.
them lower than others because they may be of a different socioeconomic standard.
Wow.
I know now that I can actually have him assimilate anywhere, and he'll have the pride of being a black person.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, yeah. But so funny though. I come in this conversation. I had two things that popped up when you mentioned homeboy that was probably a parent that probably wasn't 30. I was
Right.
thinking about Bad Boys too. And it's like, yeah, how old are you? 15. 15. And you look 30. and then and then when we just trying to get over, I was thinking about the title track to the Superfly soundtrack.
Trying to get over. Trying to get. That's funny.
Mhm.
That is funny. Oh man, super fly. All right.
Dun,
Ooh.
dun, dun, dun,
So yeah.
dun, dun,
So
dun.
how do we or okay? So let me ask: have you guys ever? I, let's had that mentality, that get over mentality. Have you been in a spot where you had to trying to do, like I said, other than the knock somebody head or stealing, like trying to manipulate a system where you know you were trying to, have you ever been in that situation? Have you thought about it? Have you done it? Whichever you want to share. Have you ever had to felt like you were in that situation where, you know, I let me see what I could do, or like thought about it, like I can't do that. Like it's not worth the risk.
I,
Um,
yeah, I have.
okay,
But and this is not even in my childhood days. And this is not when I was a grown man.
okay,
Yeah, I mean, there were times. I mean, I remember having to pay rent but not have a job and
mm,
get released from that job.
right.
Yeah, I've
Appreciate
I've
you,
I've, I've,
Mark. Good morning.
I've had those thoughts,
Right,
but thankfully I had the memories of actually living in the hood when I was young,
right,
for me to understand, okay, if I were to go that other route, I'm gonna be a cautionary tale. I can't do that.
Gotcha. Interesting.
You mean like robbing somebody?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know anyone that hasn't had the thought.
Right. Right.
You know, not everyone acts on it.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah. I just, for me, it was never in my mind to want to rob somebody.
Right.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna come and take your stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, outside of being a little child and, who would a piece of bubble gum look? A piece of bubble gum look real good.
Right.
I don't have 5 cents.
Right. Right.
I did that.
Right.
And I got the whooping behind it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Same and same.
But,
yes.
Right.
Yeah. But being grown and wanting to like rob somebody, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I've thought about it.
Right. Yeah.
But I always said I'm too pretty to go to prison.
Lord, the pastor invoking Muhammad Ali. That's a shame.
Right. Too pretty. Oh, Aunt Sim said, of course, we all know that living in the hood is just a slang word for us, so-called bad neighborhood. You can name a beautiful residential area a hood because that's where you live. For us, we associate the name with living in a bad area in the city you live in. My cafe is in the hood, and there are some very decent people who have bought their home in that area and refuse to give it up to the European people who want to buy them out and turn it into what they wanted, and I respect. So it's true.
See, Auntie actually just talking about gentrification.
Right.
But I, my thing is like Unsam has been everywhere.
Right.
Unsam she's somebody's grandmama.
Right.
Like Unsam is putting the wisdom out there.
Right.
But I'm thinking about the person who is of that mindset right now today.
Right.
Like Unsam been there, done that, seen it. She put her cafe in the hood so that she could bring a blessing to an environment.
Right.
Her whole purpose of, her cafe is something that she does for free. You wouldn't even have to pay for food. I'm not telling you to run to her cafe and think you can eat a free meal.
Where's that cafe at?
Right. But I'm just saying, like, this is the 80% of it is giving back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right. Her cafe is a flower growing out. It's a rose coming out of the concrete.
Rose growing on the concrete. Yeah.
That's her purpose behind the cafe.
Right.
But that's a unique mindset.
Indeed.
In the hood.
Right.
That's her way of telling you this is how I look to change the hood mentality. Right. And that's what she's basically saying. That's what we have to do. We have to be that rose coming out of the concrete.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
In order to change the hood mentality. But you have to have the patience and the long suffering to contend with the obstructions in your path of trying to make it better.
True.
Because the odds are overwhelming.
That's right.
And also like because that's reminiscent of a Tupac poem. Because he actually had one titled "The Rose That Grew Up from Concrete." You also have to not, if you are in those situations and in that standing for such a long time, you also have to make sure you don't have the stench that comes with it, so that you actually can show that you have risen above it, instead of just being basically as an excuse that you hear many people say that I'm a product of the environment.
That's good.
You can be a product of the environment, but but you have to show that you've risen above it.
Indeed. Okay, we're gonna dig further in this conversation. I got someone else hanging in the wings. We're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna bring them on. We'll be right back after this. Right. We're back with Mr. Reparations in
Yo,
the
yo.
building. Good morning. And make sure you check out
Good morning, Terrell.
What's going on, sir? Y'all doing all right?
Good morning,
Real good, man.
Doing good, bro. How are you doing?
All is
Yeah,
well.
man. I came in on the tail end about Pastor talking about robbing somebody for simple green or something. I'm a little. I got to fill in the context clues. Whatever it is, I got his back, I guess. You know.
Brother here looking like Ghostface Killer in the house. Look,
right. All right. So, Pastor,
yes,
put a question out there. You know, are you a victim to your environment? Are you a victim based on, you know, growing up in the hood or, you know, growing up in that space? Like what is your accountability level, you know, and, you know, are you the victim or should we not look at you like that? You know, that's the question I want to ask you guys and those in the audience. How do you look at it? You know, if you could, you know, I guess it's kind of like closed-ended yes, no question, but if you want to explain a little more, break out like why, you know, if you say they're a victim, why, or if not, why? And I get before y'all go back to 1960s and the, you know, the what, you know, what was done and how the crack epidemic and all of that. I get it. I know all that part. But, you know, even with, you know, what happens to you, you know, there, you know, when does responsibility kind of kick in? You understand what I'm saying? So throwing that spin on it as well before I know we're gonna get the people that probably don't say much gonna start dropping the history notes. I get it. I understand that part. Oh, and just as a note, white people call spaces gentrification as well. Like I picked up a lady.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, man, they gentrifying my area, you know, like, so they it's not a blanket. The white people are coming in. Some of the whites that are in areas don't like gentrification either. All right. Just want to make that note.
Yes,
Boom.
sir.
Let me read out Sam's while you guys marinate on the question I'm asking. Aunt Sam says, and I'm not talking about gentrification. This is what they want to do. I'm talking about people who live in the hood, have the mentality of, I am doing something good for myself, even if my house isn't the best, is the best on the block, and it's mine, and I allow nothing and nobody to change that because this is what I've created. Right? I have talked with so many sisters and brothers in the hood walking around with their beer can all day. On the other hand, they have given me such knowledge that I would not ever have, I guess, or wouldn't have it or gotten that insight, even though they're carrying the beer around. I get it, like Mr. Mayor. I get it from Do the Right Thing. Shout out. Yeah. So do you feel like those of the hood that do certain things, are there victims?
There's gonna be victims.
There are victims in the hood. Here's the thing.
Unfortunately, yes, there are.
Yeah. The messaging is you can be victimized, but you don't have to live life as a victim.
Right.
Well,
right?
Okay.
Because you don't, you know, when a child is born, a child has no control over the environment that they're being raised in.
Right.
Yeah.
A child has no control over the information, the content that's being poured into them.
Right.
Yeah.
A child cannot discern what to receive and what to reject.
Right.
So if your dad is a pimp, your granddad is a pimp, and you've been surrounded by pimps.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The likelihood is that you're gonna be a pimp.
There is a pimp nature.
Right.
Yeah.
Indeed.
In your household, in your construct.
Right.
Right. And so I liken that to iniquity. You know, people say, you know, we're living under a curse. No, you're not under a curse. The curse was reversed. Romans chapter 5 proves out that the curse was reversed. How sin came in through one man, Adam, but the reversal came in through one man, Jesus, in Romans chapter 5, if you read your Bible. Right. So we're not under a curse. However, the practice of iniquity gets passed down from generation to generation. Our behavioral patterns are what mess us up.
Right. Yeah.
So, you can be a victim of your upbringing.
Right.
Is there an opportunity to get out? Absolutely. But opportunity requires new information.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
And
but
then,
like I feel you got to adopt that to survive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's the hood mentality. But if you don't have it, you could lose your life.
right,
If you don't know how
Right.
to walk to that corner store, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know how to hack the protocols, if you will, of the hood, you can lose your life. And then the unfortunate part about it is to survive. Let's say you just cannot financially afford to move out, right?
right,
To survive, you're gonna have to take on some of those hood mentalities.
right.
So you got a lot of people in the hood not trying to change mentality because it's what they need to survive.
And
Mm,
what I find funny is you almost have to ask the question: do they want to change that mentality? Because you have now blatant examples of non-black individuals who are celebrities who adopt culture and behaviors and language
right,
and fashion and trends and cultures
Mm-hmm.
that was birthed from the hood and birthed from black people.
Mm-hmm.
right.
And so now they see these things popularized with other people and they think, well, I guess
Glorified.
it must not be
Right.
anything
Right.
wrong with me
That's good.
or the way I speak or
That's
how
good.
I dress or where I
That's good.
live or what or how I am.
Right. Right. That's good. That's real. Let me read on Tim's comment real quick. You are right. We don't want to go back. We want to move forward, and in order to move forward, we have to be that person to make that change. I must say, when people have come into my cafe, the first thing they say, if I didn't know better, I would not know that I was in North Philly until I stepped back out your door. It's just an example of, excuse me, showing you what can be done if you put your mind to it and stay focused on it and show others that we live in the hood. And on the other hand, we don't have to be I guess, be as hood. That is
That
that
is
is true.
that is the
Yeah.
credo that my father passed to me when I was young. Exactly what you just read from Auntie.
Right.
That was the credo. That was the mantra that my father breathed onto me. That
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow.
basically saying, just going to a scripture. You're in this world, but not of it.
Right. Right. So let me ask this then. How do you interrupt the iniquity, the passed on iniquities? How do you interrupt?
You gotta see it as bad, bro. Like if you
Mm,
see the hood mentality,
yes,
Right.
if you
sir.
see sin, if you see whatever you want to bring up as the way it should be or the
Right.
way it is,
Right.
and then you once you accept that,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Once you say like, no, I can't do no better than this.
Right.
I gotta keep in line of this thing, right? Whatever your
Right.
thing is, then it's gonna be extremely hard to change that, and it's gonna be extremely hard for you to tell me that what I'm doing is. You probably can tell me it's bad. I probably can agree, but
Right.
until I'm sick and tired of it, I can't change it. You know what I'm saying? So your preaching can't change it. Your suggestions can't change it. I have to come to a point where I see whatever
Right.
as not, this ain't the move.
Hey,
This
good
is not
morning,
what I want
Deborah.
to be a part of. And once I see it and once the individual sees it as wrong, as this needs to stop, this needs to change, then that's when the real change can happen. But it ain't till then, man.
So, so do you feel like this? Is there anything that we can do to begin to interrupt it? Like, what can we do to begin to interrupt it? What can we do to put our hands into this space? I mean, because I'm really working on some real solutions.
everybody,
Um,
everybody move back to the hood.
That's one solution.
Yeah.
I'm in the hood.
you're
Sir,
you're in the
I,
hood.
I don't want to call out your address.
No, no,
I'm
no.
I'm
The
in I'm
pastor is
in my
his
hood.
hood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I am
the
in
pastor's in
my hood.
his hood.
sir,
Like I'm in
Heron
mine.
Bay, Heron
sir,
Bay is a
no,
neighborhood.
no,
Right,
sir,
right.
That's
no,
right.
sir. You're
I'm
not
in
in the
my
hood.
hood.
You're
Yeah.
not in the slums. You're not in the ghetto.
Right.
You're not in the projects.
Right.
Hey,
I
There
can
we
that
hear
go.
the golf course behind you. No,
Right.
sir.
Yeah,
No,
we
sir.
hear E. We
The
hear.
swing, right?
Yeah, I can hear them swinging
hey,
right now.
that's relative. That's relative.
And that's real. That 100% real.
You know,
Oh my
if you
God.
But yeah,
Shaquille O'Neal, I'm in the hood.
Right, right. The
nah.
struggle is real. The struggle is real. The
No,
struggle
but
is
if
real.
we
Real.
if we if we bought it back, right?
Right.
I'm
Mhm.
talking to church, whoever, right? Like
Yeah.
that's how you get influence. That's how you take over the city. We quote that all the time. But I'm saying buy property. You know, Because and what I not a real estate push, but what I'm saying is when you control something, you can influence it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
if I can buy that liquor store, then maybe it don't have to be a liquor store. You know what I'm saying? If I can buy that title pond, if I can buy those things, I can make them to be what I want them to be. And not knocking all those things because I don't want to knock the hood. People are literally doing what they have to do, right?
Right.
And you, how do we change it? The question is, do they even want to change it? That's all I'm saying. Like, you know, like they have to arrive to say, like, look, this ain't what's up. And everything in the quote unquote hood ain't bad. It's the neighborhood, but we have some of our influence on it. I get upset when people come to our hood and profit off of us. And I don't want to call out no race, but if you're from a hood, you know some of those races that exist there. So they take our money and then they go back to their golf course and they hood. And I'm trying to get on a golf course too, because I ain't clowning you. I'm just because they go back there and then they profit, right? And then the hood is left with just, I heard it's like an average of like 6 hours money stays in the hood. So in our neighborhood. So we there.
Yeah, I have a good business proposition for the hood.
Okay.
Yeah. Rent them spoons.
What's that?
But no, it was funny that you
Hold on. No, you in timeout. You can't just keep going. You're in timeout, brother. You're in timeout.
All bad
and
proposals.
Listen, and his name is Cole. So he's definitely in timeout. It's gonna take a minute. We're gonna bring him back in a moment. I know he had a point, but I'm just
and then like
listen, I had to pay. I was like, oh snap, what's Cole about to drop?
I didn't even. What did he say?
Rhythm spoons. Remember from Martin? Rhythm spoons. You know,
it's a clap episode.
Oh man,
It's tough.
That's all right. We'll bypass it.
Yeah, right.
And Pastor, you've been all over the world. Let me ask you: Has a hood mentality ever saved you in a situation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, I teach my children. Honestly, they love the Lord. We love the Lord, but I tell them 30 seconds of crazy can buy you a whole year's worth of peace.
That's the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
Because sometimes you have to get someone out of your face.
Right.
You know, you got to get somebody up off of you in school, because everybody in school doesn't come from the same neighborhood.
Right.
You know, or the same street. You know, and there are certain people, you know, they come to school looking for madness.
Right.
You know, or they bring madness to the school. And so you have to, there's certain things, you know, I love this, you know, we talk about, you know, the scripture says, Paul says, I became like that I might win.
Right.
You know, and people often associate that with, you know, going into the troubling areas and being like them to try and pull something better out of them. Right. That's what, but Paul wasn't saying, you know, I became them. He said, I became like them that I might win them.
Right.
You know,
right.
And sometimes we have to do that to survive. I'm not telling you that in order to survive an inner city challenging school system, you have to become a thug. Right. That's not what I'm saying. But there may come a time where you have to let them know I'm not to be messed with.
Right.
Yeah. No question.
Right.
No
That's
question.
what I mean. So yeah, I've been all over the world, and there have been places that I have been where, you know, clearly you could tell I'm not from there.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Before I even open up my mouth, they already know.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Ashley.
We dress different in different hoods too.
Yeah.
Like a Texas hood don't look like a Florida hood. You know?
It sure don't.
There's gonna be some commonalities.
Right.
There's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like I can recognize a hood. That for sure. You can take it anywhere in America. I can recognize a black hood.
Right. And there's no place like South Central Los Angeles.
Look, you could definitely recognize a hood. All you have to do is look at where the Martin Luther King Boulevard is.
Start there first.
And there you go.
Start there. We there.
You know what? That is a horrible truth.
I'm sorry. That's just the truth.
Listen, anybody out there, if you got a Martin Luther King Boulevard, that's good. Let me know in what state you in. Because it seems like that seems to be the going thing.
Yeah.
Like Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevards are in some of the roughest neighborhoods. So if you got a nice one, let a brother know so we can dispel this myth. You know, because always the bad stuff rise to the top. So let us know because I've heard it. Then I was like, that's true. But then I realized, man,
Yeah.
is it true? Like,
Yeah.
like is this one of these conspiracy moments? I actually said it's true.
It's true.
And I can tell you, just from my experience, my father tried to teach me like what Roy Jones Jr. said one time after a fight.
Yeah.
Quote, I am a nice guy, but I'm awful crucial with these hands. Close quote. He says, yeah, be respectful to people, but if they press up on you, show them.
Yeah.
Deal with them.
Yeah. It's like, and I have fond memories of the hood. There's certain candies that go to the hood. I'm not a huge candy guy.
Right.
My wife
Now
loves
latest.
candy.
Now
Yeah.
latest.
And certain flavors, certain chips, certain prices you expect. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen like beef patties anywhere in like a regular, not regular, just in a non-hood area. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's certain things you expect, certain things you go over with. It's nostalgia. Yeah. And what do I love about like black businesses and black churches? I like this. Our black
down homeness.
Yeah, and I get to go into a place that is influenced by my culture, if that makes sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
makes plenty of sense, bro.
Like
makes
you'll see your artifacts, you'll see your people. They'll dress like you. The elevator music will have a little upbeat to it. Like everything,
right?
It'll be our version of it, right? So I do love that. But yeah, we got some problems in the hood, yeah, for sure. But I think that exists not because of, well, I guess technically because of people, but I'm saying not because black people are a certain way. It's because if you insert, poverty and drugs and low income and anything to any hood, you feel
that's
me?
why it exists.
It's gonna be like that, yeah, for real. So it's gonna be.
It's more of a socio-economic thing than a people thing.
For sure. Like, I love being black.
Right.
Heck yeah, bro. I do too, man.
Oh, I think one of what I hate about like the hood, and we're talking very stereotypically, and this ain't even the people, it's the fact that the lack of care, not from the people, but the lack of care from owners, the apartments, the streets, it's like I know just by driving, like, oh, here we go. I've just entered, and it's crazy. Tell me, like, if you ever going into a hood, like the streets, potholes, you dodging, you looking, like you're visibly looking straight, but you're looking down because you're like, you're trying not to hit stuff. And then soon as you pass into another zip code, it's like that's where the road just changes. It goes from
dude.
You're pause. You're like, why is this,
dude? Dude, let me give you the real on this.
Yes,
so
indeed.
In Fifth Ward, in the neighborhood that I grew up in, there were no curbs. No curbs. No curbs. No, sir. No curbs. No curbs.
I need a picture of that. I can't even imagine.
and the drainage system basically was two dug up tunnels. Wow. That was on each side of the road that had no curbs. Wow. Now, all I had to do is drive 1 mile south, get to downtown Houston. I'll see all the curbs.
Right.
I'll see all the nice paved streets.
Right.
I'll see all the nice, well-kept areas.
Yeah.
And that's just 1 mile from the hood.
Right.
Yeah. I think we need to do let me take that back. We don't need to do it. I'm not going to do this. I think it would be nice if somebody highlighted the hood. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like I said, it's nostalgic in nature. I ain't want to lie, bro. It's just like sometimes people just say random stuff, but like I would never slap my mama because some chicken tastes so good. We just be talking sometimes. I'm not gonna do it. But if somebody did it, if they recorded it, they YouTubed it, go bounce from hood to hood and show like the inner workings of some certain things. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like, I just love to see that. Go, because I'm telling you, if you go to Tallahassee,
right,
the Leon County look different from Duval, and you just hop on 10 and you there like 2 hours. So like in 2 hours, the
environment changes.
Crazy, bro. So Cambridge and Moncrief look totally different, but they hoods. You know what I'm saying? So like it's somebody who just drove around and kind of peeped all that. It just be it'd be interesting to see. I'll watch that for sure.
But
We watch that. Okay.
But I'll say this though, and E pointed this out, and I'm so glad that you did, bro. There are things about the hood that is not really something that you would want, or that you'd like, that you would accept, or that you would embrace.
Yeah.
But man, there are some things about the hood that I would take to the grave loving.
Okay.
Because I mean, some of the realest people I've ever met in my life grew up there.
Right.
And just that feeling of home, just that feeling of connection, just that feeling of you look like me, you talk like me, you sound like me, you understand me, and I don't have to, as we have perfected in this life, code switch.
Yeah.
I can be me, and I could be embraced and accepted by you. That aspect of the hood I love.
Yeah, for real.
And that's something I wish we could take everywhere.
How many of you all know where scanning came from?
Scanning?
Yeah. You know how you see somebody, you scan them up and down?
Okay.
Just
'Cause
thought
that's
he got
hood.
birthed in the hood. Yeah, it's hood. I thought he got birthed in the hood.
Oh, the size up move? Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds like a hood, hood thing.
All right.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
You got you know where it originated? Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
No.
Break it down. Learn me something.
Yeah.
Y'all know, like when you see people, strangers, you know, you scan
Right.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Size them
Size
up.
them
Just
up.
something
Size
that's
'em up.
always been in our culture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you size the person up.
Nobody ever
Yeah.
figured out where it came from.
All right. No, what's up? You got me on the edge.
Came from slavery.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because we were always bought and sold. So whenever you
Right.
meet somebody
Somebody
different,
new.
You
you
size
would
them
look
up.
at them to see if you can recognize who they're connected to, what tribe they're from, you know, what their background is. See if you're always looking for familiarity to see if you can find family, because they were always
Mm.
It was always
disconnected.
changeover. Yeah.
You
Right.
were bought and sold, and so you were always looking for family. So you scan people up and
Right.
down, looking for traits, looking for characteristics. And so in our community, we've always done that, but no one ever understood why. No one ever thought about why,
Right.
or if you did, it was for the wrong reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we got that kind of stuff that we pass on like all the time. And it's
Yeah.
like Cole was saying, like, you know,
It's like, who your people?
there's
Right.
acceptance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like Pastor was talking like maybe a month ago or whatever, you know, it's just funny to me how like you were talking about Chicago on 63rd Street, like on the same street, it's a different vibe. It's just depending on what end on the street you on. So like it's like, you know, we have all these things. And yeah, it's kind of dangerous, but to be honest, it's kind of interesting too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because what I love about the hood, we don't got no Congress. None of this stuff is written down. All this is just
passed
like
on.
passed on by. It's like you know type of situation. And it's just amazing to me that you can raise people up in this.
Right.
And it'd be like these rules, like, no, we don't do that. Like when I went to college, and I left South Florida and went to up to North Florida in Jacksonville, and like my mind just got like, what in the world? Like I thought everybody had Winn-Dixie, you know what I'm saying? You start seeing all these different, and when I came to Georgia and hit up the Piggly Wiggly, I'm like, hold on, man, what is that? You know, so like it's to see the differences, and
definitely
that's when stuff started messing with me, because like nobody ever told me everything is this way. I just kind of just accepted, because that's, you know, that's what we do, you know, so that's what it was. So when you start seeing different people and different slangs in your own state, I'm looking like, man, what is, you know, it's something else.
Now this is something I would love to change about the hood, and this actually goes into the realm of politics. It's interesting to me that you only see politicians care about the hood when it's their neck on the line, and they'll go into those areas and they would, you know, they'll say whatever they need to say in order to get themselves back in the office. But and then once they get elected back there, you see nothing of their presence, and nothing changes along with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that aspect I would love to have changed.
Yeah, I like to see ownership change. Like, let us own the projects. Let us own Born Homes. Let not, I don't want to call out racist, but let it not be other people who own these buildings, who these slum landlords who don't come take care of stuff.
I get what you're saying, but unfortunately, you know, it's the ones with the money that's bought the property that's probably handed down the property.
The next alderman and the next guy we get in charge, tell them we want a deal on the table.
I believe they should place laws, like coding laws, where your property can't look a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be like
it got to be through ownership. If you hit me with the law, then you can parlay with the law too.
I mean, I get it, but you can't take folks' purchases.
No,
like
not
I'm buying. Listen, this is my land. I bought it fair and square.
Not take it. I'm not. Let's not do to them what they do to us. I'm not talking in the domain. I'm saying let's just ask them to come to the table and try to strike some kind of deal that we buy back. Okay, Maynard Jackson, he left the city and he was like, he set up something that if you work or want to bid with an Atlanta airport business, you got to do 36% of your business with a minority.
I didn't know the percentage. Okay, I did not know it was that high.
Let's do that. Like if you're gonna own property, Southwest Atlanta, you're gonna own property, Bourne Homes, West Side, Bankhead, whatever you want to do, then you got to do 10% got to belong to the people. The people gonna elect the board, whatever. Something to get ownership back because they don't care about the neighbor. Like how can some of these projects be in such poor condition?
That's what I'm saying. So that to me,
100, bro.
100. I get what you're saying with ownership, and I hear you. But I don't know. Like I can't. I want my reparations, but I can't ride with you on that one.
Justify it for me. How can how can the city have intimate domain power, but I can't ask for a deal at the table? I didn't say snatch. I didn't say nothing. Every finances, things got to come through. We got to buy. But how about we form a board? I want Killer Mike and T.I. to be on my board. I want you to do business with them.
Maybe okay. So maybe make it like the apartment building has to have a board. Like. They have to, people that are in the apartments, they have to select people to be part of a board to hold them accountable. You can do that. You can like place an ordinance in this city. If you're going to have an apartment building, a certain percentage have to be part of a board to make decision. So now you have people that live there that are like on top of residents and on top of owners. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now they feel like they have a piece of, of ownership, without ownership. You understand what I'm saying? They have a say. Their voice matters, and then because like I said, I drove in the hood. Not only just the
challenge. The challenge there is because what you're talking about is HOA.
Yeah, exactly.
But
then
it got to be
about HOA to include non-homeowners.
Got to be home. Got to have a piece of the property.
Right, and people pay for that authority.
That right, yeah.
I mean, right to have that but you're not getting nothing.
What do you mean?
Like, so, okay, hear me out all the way. So we all four of us live in Parkview Heights.
All right.
that's in Bankhead. Parkview Heights in Bankhead. And we all are connected to the owner. Like we have position. We're on the board. So we have position where we talk to we have connection with the owners or the property owners. And we are, because we live on the property, we hold our people accountable as far as cleanup and things like that, right? But there's no amenities, there's no pool, whatever's been there is there, like, so there's no taking care of those things. But like, it's an ordinance that there have to be a board, right? And if the property manager is not listening to the board and we're in unanimous decision, we can go to the county or our town as a grievance. And that apartment complex can be fined based on not keeping up the property. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's accountability and there's power. Go ahead.
Could you tell me what's your problem with the ownership piece? Because the only problem I got with yours is because we've been doing that. We've been pitching a fit. Pitching a fit ain't no problem. We'll go protest something all day.
Yeah, but it's
like I can say AD's not cleaning up the property.
Right.
A judge will hit me out eventually. Then Pastor McCoy, who owns the property, sends out 2 of his worst contractors. They fix something, paint something, and they gone. So what I'm saying is with ownership, I can do something for myself with that property. If I have a piece of the ownership, I can hire Cole and say, hey, I need you to come be the contractor. So what's your problem with the ownership piece? Why can't somebody own it?
I mean, so where's this money coming from to fix the stuff?
It can be from the people. If I own it, I gotta shoot up some money too. Now, of course, it'd be more like a partnership. So me and Cole live in Parkview Heights. We have a piece of the ownership. So yeah, we're gonna have to come up with some money. Y'all are the rich other races that y'all always been, and y'all, sitting back in Buckhead doing whatever you do, getting your money. You have a piece, we have a piece, but we get more say when you own. If I'm just a board.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but you're in the hood because you can't own. And that's
maybe I'm but I can get a team together. Maybe I can own together. What do you call it? Group economics.
Are you talking about like? Yeah. So you're talking about like projects.
in the projects, a building, giving the people in that building a chance to have a piece.
Power over the owners.
Maybe not even over. Maybe y'all hold the most because y'all have the most money.
But the thing is, but that's what you're saying. You're saying I want power, or I want to be able to overrule the ownership because I don't like the level. Yeah, but what I'm saying
I'll
is
give more attention to detail because I own it.
But I'm saying, but the thing is, if I'm an owner and I'm a slumlord, you don't have to live here.
Right.
You don't like the fact that my apartment has roaches? Move.
But that's what I'm saying. Why is that the answer?
Yeah, no, I'm saying, no, listen. That's capitalism. You can't tell me what to do with my money and with my investment.
No.
If you don't like the quality of living that I provide, if you're paying, $600 rent.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's roach infested. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't want to get rid of the roaches. Nothing is stopping you from calling the exterminator.
Not the same.
It is the same. Because if you don't like the roaches, because as an owner, I can say, yeah, when I treat yours, then I got to treat this other one. I got to treat this other one. And if you really want this kind of service, then I'm going to increase the rent. You say, no, I don't want you to increase the rent. I want you to fix these roaches. You didn't sign a contract that says I won't have roaches. You signed a contract that says I want to live here.
I'm not saying it's not legal. I'm saying it ain't right. So
I know it ain't right. But the only point I'm trying to make is the logic behind trying to supersede or overrule an owner. That's illogical.
Because
I believe
this is the way by becoming a part owner. Open the gates. Has the city ever bought property?
Yeah.
You're again telling me. You're telling me I should give you part ownership of my investment, and I'm saying no.
Right.
I don't need no partners.
Right.
I like what I do. I like the profit that I make.
Right.
If you don't like it, there's somebody standing behind you that wants to rent this place.
But that's my problem. Just another renter.
Right. I got you.
Where are the celebrities that say we got another buyer? Buy him out. Has anybody? The city's bought property. All these other rappers, all these other people.
I understand.
Buy out McCory. Bring in.
You can buy me out if the price is right.
That's what I'm saying. Buy it out. Do what you got to do. I'm not saying like it's going to be easy. I'm not saying like people just won't move. How many times have rich people tried to put up golf courses and you got one house that say I ain't moving? I get it, but I'm saying do it. Take it away from them because they've done a horrible job. But we just kept giving them and supplying them with more renters when we got all these slam. Okay, you think about Donald Trump though, right? His daddy. Right? Now you got to call out white people. So you think about Donald Trump. His daddy was a slumlord for years. Like all they did was keep passing down all these project buildings that they own, and they keep getting to be slumlords.
Right. Only thing, why was they able to do that for so long?
Because nobody stepped in and bought them out.
Yeah, why didn't anybody step in and buy him out?
That's the question I'm posing today, sir.
Because he didn't want to sell.
Right. But at the same time, like they have laws. You can't let your apartments get but so bad. And they got fined for being slumlords. And that's what I'm saying. That's what they need here. They need those same ordinances here.
They do. They have the same ordinances, but no one's taking people to court.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're not gonna have the urgency that you're gonna have if you live there. I just feel like the people who live there.
I've gone in apartments like they are dilapidated. Like I'm dilapidated. Like
but who's gonna take them to court? Who's gonna go hire an attorney to take them to court? Because that's what you have to do. Yeah. What you're talking about, there's a difference between creating a coalition and filing a class action movement against an owner.
Because that's what happened in the apartments I was in. We had mold had taken over. So we filed the class action. So mold was everywhere.
Yeah. Right. And I'm saying, but the thing is that would be illegal even in your own. If in my house, if I had mold in my house, I could get in trouble. Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that what people do is they skirt the line. They do just enough to keep.
I figured it out. I got it. I got the answer. Because the number one thing, like at your place, Pastor, right now, who is the super police in your area? The HOA. Let you put a fan in your window. they'll be at your door. Right? And so
Yeah.
what the towns need is an HOA on top of these apartments. You know, like, listen, your parking lot is jacked up. You need to fix it. You know, like need to apply these same pressures. You know, because let me ask you some real quick, Pastor. I know before you go on, Ephraim. What if you don't pay your HOA fee? Can they take your house?
They can put a lien on.
I always wondered about that. They can put they just put a lien on, and which means they can eventually, if you just like refuse, you know, you stood your ground.
Yeah,
they can eventually take it because I guess you sign contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, and if you apply the same thing to these towns, like if you set up this apartment, you know, like I don't know, call it something else, you know, like you're paying a tax, but then you have an apartment tax, like you know what I'm saying, like where you have to keep your apartments at least at this base minimum. Parking lots are drivable, you know, because man, like these parking lots are like ridiculous.
I hear everything you're saying.
Go ahead.
But we done that. And I ain't proposing, I'm saying it easy, but I'm not saying it like this is snapping your fingers. What I'm saying is, and I'm not saying y'all, I'm saying there should be an appreciation for the power of ownership. So let's do this. Let's say we got this slumlord apartment. Mm-hmm. Next to it is this liquor store that just came up for sale.
Right.
Like let's invest in the hood. Let's make that a Whole Foods or whatever. I'm just saying the next time a building comes available, how about a group of investors who probably going to have to be black? A group of investors pour into that hood and say, we're not letting another I don't want to call it a bad business, but just another business that's not beneficial come in the hood. Like, you got to own this stuff. Like, the laws is the laws, but I'm saying how bad. Okay, so I got the HOA.
Yes.
I got the liens. I got all this stuff I can file and complain. But how long my child got to deal with that mold before I get half a response? Because when it come down to it, after 3 years of my child breathing in and out that mold, that person is just going to send somebody out. When it come down to it, that's all we're talking about, sending people out to fix a problem. But like, you got to move heaven and earth because it's not affecting them.
I mean, it has to be. There's a start. You know what I'm saying? And then things begin to change. The pressure, you get the right mayor, they put the pressure on. They start talking about your apartments on TV, like the Vista View apartments.
Yeah.
Or there's no Vista, there's no view. They need to do something about it. White man can't jump. I love that line. Welcome to Vista View apartments where there's no Vista or no view. But anyway, so having the mayor talk about it. I'm just I know it's annoying. It's horrible, but it's where we at. I hear you with the ownership, and I guess this is my unfortunate conservative side. You can't just be giving out a piece of what I bought to these folks. Like you feel, because that's what you're trying to say. Like, just that's give America. Out my ownership.
But
and I feel I'm a slumlord.
I just don't get how y'all can. Well, not y'all. The understood y'all. I don't get how it's cool and common practice for internet domain, but then when we talk about give us a piece of it, it's like nah, we can't do that. That's not right. That's not American. And then the next day, I get a letter from a mayor talking about get up out of here. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, the city needs your property. We got to expand the airport. I just don't get how that's.
But those are cool. Two absolutely different things. Those are different.
It's the same thing. You talking about taking something from somebody who owns it. That's the same thing I'm saying. I'm just on another side of the argument.
No, because if I want a group of people to invest in a property, right? I want to try to financially pressure an owner out.
Yeah.
That's different than the state and local government coming in and saying it's more feasible for us to create a path for the city, for the state. And so we're going to push you out, but we're going to pay you handsomely to push you out so that the infrastructure changes for the betterment of the city or the betterment of the state. That's different than a private desire to own a property.
It just sounds different. That's it. Pastor, you know what's happening behind that paper.
Okay, hold on.
Because they're not doing that to a whole bunch of certain races. They're not doing that to them. So what's happening behind that paper.
Let me read Rich's comment. He said, didn't Trump's family have to upgrade those apartments? Yes. And do corrective remedy that maintain it properly from then on. In UK, we got rules and also enforcement, but 2 million landlords in UK and a percentage are bad, but most over 74% are upright and keep to a higher standard. and maintenance on a regular basis, but some everywhere in every country is bad. Majority are good. He feels majority are good. Is that Ephraim? He said, yeah, that Ephraim. I see.
Yeah, I'm
He said,
ducked out.
Walker, you need to keep
ducking
it
work, Rich.
to a decent standard. Right? So I need to keep it to a decent standard, period. The other is a compulsory purchase order, right?
Yeah, again, I'm not saying that it's right. I'm saying that it is.
Yeah.
It's what happens. And
fines and leverage.
Why do you think? Yeah, why do you think people come from other countries to America? Because they know in America they can do that.
Right.
Because capitalism is king in America.
Yes, indeed. All right. So we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna definitely kind of continue this on. Like I have some solutions to help increase and better our neighborhoods. I'm gonna throw some things out there and see what my brothers think. I appreciate you being on. Of course, yes, Pastor. Appreciate you always hanging and rocking with me. And Cole, he had to leave, go to a meeting, of course. And I appreciate him for being here. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And if you're missing any episode of The Brothers of the Legacy, be sure to join our community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. Never miss a broadcast. So we look forward to seeing you same time, same channel tomorrow. While we continue this conversation about oh Lord.
Mama, I gotta give it to him. Them Cowboys doing their thing. I gotta give it to him. That was impressive last night. I gotta give it to him.
All right. Thank you, Mama Corey. Always said pastors capitalism is king in the UK too, bro. Yeah. So we look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Like I said, connect with us. Text LWN to 84576. Tonight, of course, don't forget Purposeful Forever will be on. Just stay tuned as we bust out a topic that will change your life. All right. So we look forward to seeing you same time, same tomorrow. Always continue to stay safe, wear the mask, stay 6 feet. You know how we do. And then always know that we love you, but God loves you more. Hear it again. All right. Peace out. As always, we love you. Know that God loves you more. Stay safe. Thank you guys for hanging, being with us, sharing is caring. All of my replay peoples that watch in the background that I know see